bit. So the alert, if you're watching from Orange County thinking, well, I got this alert that was a 4.7, that's what I'm seeing from our team in Orange County, that's the report that they got. And again, anywhere down to the 4.5 and also reports of the 4.2. So a lot of shaking occurring, whether they were foreshocks or aftershocks and what is considered the main earthquake. As time goes by, we're going to get a better idea of what was the main earthquake and which were the foreshocks and the aftershocks. And that can all change, of course, as the shaking continues. So again, we are on air live right now with this breaking news of this earthquake in the Inland Empire, centered roughly around the Fontana area. Again, we do not know if the greater Los Angeles area is under earthquake mode right now. Certainly when that does occur, local fire departments will check for damage across the area, make sure there's no infrastructure issues. I mean, a 4.5 is not a major earthquake, but enough to certainly feel it. I got to admit that I personally did not feel it here in our Glendale studios. Of course, we're far to the west from Fontana, but there are some reports that some of our coworkers here in our building did feel that shaking. And again, our coworkers in the Orange County area did receive that alert on their cell phones to drop cover and hold on. For them, the alert came in as a 4.7 that was centered around the Rialto area. Of course, Rialto and Fontana are neighboring cities there in San Bernardino County. I am standing by for more information coming in through my email. Okay, on the phone right now is Kendi Phillips. She actually is a former staff member here at KABC. Kendi, good to hear from you. You are in Lido Creek, not far from Fontana. Good to hear from you. What did you feel?
Standing out on LinkedIn is a huge win for my team. And we do it with Adobe Express. They have templates built for every LinkedIn ad format. Whether it's videos, images, or carousels, we can get the word out about our services in minutes.
At the University of Redlands, we won't ask if you have what it takes to make a difference. We already know you do, because you are relentless to your roots. And from day one, we'll help you prove it through community service learning and hands-on training in your field. Here, our over 70 in-person and online programs won't just prepare you for your career. You'll gain the skills and experience you need to improve your world. So, if you're ready to make a difference, we're ready for you. Join a community committed to action at redlands.edu.
Oh, hi, Mark. Yes, we felt, well, my husband could hear it coming. I thought it was maybe a vehicle that was about to drive up our road. But then it was like a rolling motion, lasted a few seconds. In Lytle Creek, we are north of Fontana and Rialto. So it was enough to get our attention, that's for sure. But I don't think anything was broken. I did try to make a phone call soon after it, and the phones were not working, but of course they are now.
Very interesting. I know so many people who feel these earthquakes here in Southern California, right? We need to be prepared for it. And so many times, Kendi, we hear it coming. I remember, recently within the past year or so, there was an earthquake that I felt in the San Gabriel Valley. And I initially thought, is there a big box truck coming down the street? It sounded like a train or a truck was moving forward. And then came the shaking. I thought, okay, that's an earthquake. So for you, it was that similar feeling where you heard something first?
Yes. And I get alerts on my phone, when there's an earthquake. And I noticed that there had been some in Rialto about 45 minutes before our quake happened. Isn't that correct?
Interesting. We're sorting out all of the time. I know that our team down in Orange County, they got an alert at 9:32. So that was just 10 minutes ago, not 45 minutes. So certainly we're going to sort out all of the timing with all of this. But we do know the team down in Orange County in the Bureau, they got that alert to their cell phones around 9:32. And Kendi, to confirm, did you receive an alert to your phone?
Actually, I did a Google search saying quake near me. But then I got the alert afterwards. So I didn't get it before, I got it afterwards.
Gotcha. And you being in your area for Lido Creek, again, north of Fontana off the 15, now that the shaking has stopped, at least the main shaking, have you noticed any of those aftershocks, anything of that sort?
No, I have not.
Okay. What's that mindset for you? Of course, you used to work here with us for so many years here at ABC7, and we're always in that earthquake mode. You are right there in the newsroom with us, and when this happens, we all are on alert to make sure we get all the information out there. So you're used to these happening. Let me take me back to that moment, 10 minutes ago when this happened, the clarity for you when you thought, okay, yes, this is an earthquake.
Yes. Yeah, we were watching TV, my husband and I, and all of us, and my husband said, "Oh, that's an earthquake." As I said, he heard it before I did, and of course, I'm a little more hard of hearing.
Yeah.
And then we felt that rolling motion. It felt strong too.
What was the duration? Was this something that lasted just a few seconds? Was it upwards of 10 seconds? How long did it last for you?
I would say less than 10 seconds.
Okay. Enough for you to think. When that happens, though, and, when we have all felt those smaller earthquakes, you wonder, okay, is this just the beginning or is it going to get worse? And you wonder, okay, it stopped. And so there has to be that relief in that moment.
You don't know this one trick. Check this out.
Yeah, that's it.
And you mentioned earlier, as our folks are watching right now, the expectation that we're not expecting any damage from this, from your take, from your experience, what you felt. Yes, this got our attention, but this was not strong enough, at least in your opinion, to experience any kind of damage.
You see exactly what your car accident is worth. No lawyers, no insurance adjusters, and no BS.
Had damage or
just
something.
Just a real
no, I don't notice anything here.
For your recent car accident.
Kendi Phillips on the phone with us, a former staff member here at ABC7. We appreciate you calling in here from Lytle Creek and giving us your take on it. Thank you so much. Best to you and your husband, and hopefully a calm rest of the day for you.
That sounds great. Thank you, Mark.
Okay, thank you, Kendi. We can tell you this has now been revised down to a 4.4. That is the latest information we are now getting. And again, that is typical. Initially, a magnitude will be released, and then they kind of fine-tune what the size was, so a 4.4. Joining us on the phone right now is Kyle Davis. He is a photographer with us at ABC7. He is working in the Inland Empire. You're on the phone with us.
Refresh your routine with Factor. Chef-prepared meals delivered with a tap, ready in 2 minutes.
I felt a slight jolt,
Eat smart
and my
with
immediate
Factor.
thought was to reach out to my wife, who lives in Rancho Cucamonga, to see if she felt it as well. And she felt the shake as well.
And of course, doing what we do, and you're a photographer, we got to be prepared for this earthquake. For you, was it fairly certain of what was occurring? And like Kendi, our former coworker, said, she heard it coming. Did you hear it coming? What was the certainty for you that, okay, yes, this is an earthquake?
Yeah, I did hear a slight rumbling, and then my system was confirmed, and I felt the third shake about a second or two later. And it was very brief, but I immediately recognized it as being an earthquake.
Okay, so that being said, confirm, sorry if this is reiterating. Shayla Girardin, you've been standing by with me on this breaking coverage of this magnitude 4.4 earthquake in the Inland Empire, Fontana. So again, now a couple phone calls coming in from coworkers and former coworkers that felt this shaking. So it's that shared experience that people have when something like this happens.
Yes, it's interesting to hear the different perspectives of where people were when they first felt it. That moment when you start to realize, okay, this is an earthquake that's finally happening. I want to point you out toward Fontana, where we've been talking about that 4.4 earthquake that just happened. Now that a couple moments have passed, we're starting to see what exactly played out, the foreshocks, the aftershocks. If you were out and about in the area and you felt that earthquake, it was most likely this one right here, the one we keep talking about. That 4.4 timing was just after 9:30 this morning. Now, you'll notice all of these foreshocks, the aftershocks, the one that we're talking about, the 4.4, they're all around a depth of anywhere from 3 to 5 miles. So similar with depth, but this one definitely the biggest in magnitude, about 4.4. Just about an hour earlier, we had these two just southwest of the primary 4.4 earthquake. These were foreshocks, both of magnitude or around in magnitude, a 3.0, timing just a little bit earlier, around 8:30 this morning. So maybe you felt something earlier this morning when you were out and about, maybe running errands and thought you felt an earthquake. Both of those pretty small. And then since that, we've had two more, much smaller though, magnitude only 2.0. These happening around 9:30, even as close as 9:45. But again, this primary one right here, I'll see if I can zoom in on it in just a moment. Starting this morning around 9:30, that's the one that if you were out this morning, if you felt something, a lot of folks describing it as more of a rolling earthquake. For us in the studio, it felt more like a jolt. That was this one, that primary 4.4 earthquake in Fontana. And like I mentioned, what's interesting about all of these, the one we're talking about and also those fore and aftershocks, all about a depth of anywhere from 3 to 5 miles. Give me a second and I'll see if I can pull up this primary one we're taking a look at. Again, 4.4 this morning, right outside of Fontana. Hearing reports of folks out in the IE, Orange County, also saying they felt that quake, but especially out toward the Inland Empire, Riverside, that's where those primary spots are. And a big reason, a big part of that is because of these foreshocks and aftershocks that we've been feeling since. So, of course, we'll keep a close eye on it. Whether or not we feel more over the course of the morning is something still be determined, but Mark, the potential, of course, is still there. We've seen a couple popping up already.
Something like this happens, it becomes top of mind once again. You know that this is something that happens in Southern California. We always need to be prepared. Okay, Shayla, thank you. Stand by with us. That being said, we're also standing by for Dr. Lucy Jones, the leading seismologist here in Southern California and really across the nation for when these major earthquakes or even moderate earthquakes happen, to bring some perspective for us on what is occurring, what to expect. So we're being told that Lucy Jones will be available shortly. We will go to that when it is ready. In the meantime, on the phone, we have Greg from Menifee. Greg, I'm assuming you felt the earthquake there south of Fontana. Tell us, what was it like for you?